Hey everybody, Ben here. Gonna do a Sunday morning ink blot. I've got white, yellow, brown, and green. I will take a picture of it, show you, and then show you what came through, and then we'll go from there. See ya. Alright everybody, you should be able to see what I dropped and then what came through. So in the very beginning, I just gonna say, this is us. And up here in the upper section, I just feel being like bound or pulled by what's really coming through our past experience. And uh, we get into the heart and the solar plexus here. What I mean by bound to it is our past experiences are have damaged us, and naturally so. Anything that happens in the past is going to change us or mold us or create wounds and traumas. But what's coming through here is it is dictating us. It is dictating our future, our experience, how we show up for ourselves and others. And uh, it's it's time to heal or to move forward. Maybe we want to, maybe we can't, or maybe we don't understand why. And uh, not saying that we're allowing it on purpose, but it is controlling us. And the only way to heal this uh, self-confidence, self-esteem, self-image is through the heart. As we can see here, the yellow blending with the green, it is needed to use our heart, which naturally, I say this often, that if the external created the problems, we can't go to the external and expect them to fix it. We have to do it inside. And the only way to do that is with our own heart, and to mend our self-esteem or our self-image or our self-confidence is through the heart. This could also be a victimhood. Granted, we are a victim to everything that happened to us. And I'm not saying that what was done is right, but if we want to stay there, we're going to stay there. And until we get out of that, we can only move forward then. And the only way to do that is through our heart. And this can also be self-acceptance, not just of who we are, but the choices that we made, or the places or the positions that we put ourselves in to be a victim to certain circumstances. Granted, sometimes we don't have that choice. That's not what I'm getting at. This is more about that if I was working out of a wound and I found somebody that was that wound and they showed it to me, and it wasn't very enjoyable. It is, you know, when we really dig into it and we look at our wounds for what they are, and we find and we look back and we look at the people that we had in our lives, we can see how they really reinforced that wound in us. They really showed us how much that wound hurt. They really showed us how real it was. And they made it vibrate louder or shine brighter inside of us. It was not a bright experience, but it really came out. And until we look at that from a different perspective to say, okay, they showed me it. Now it's my choice to do something with it. Otherwise, I will be a victim to the circumstance, but I'm a victim to the own wound. Now, granted, I didn't ask for this wound. I didn't ask for it to be created, but I have it. And it is my choice to heal it and to see it for what it is, and not to allow anyone to be able to touch that again because I have moved forward. That is uh, our heart accepting that and healing it. Otherwise, we are whatever they say we are. And until we choose to love ourselves and to heal that and then protect ourselves. This can also be people pleasing. The idea of people pleasing is uh, a lot can be viewed a lot of different ways. But let's just look at it on the face value of I am uh, accommodating or trying to help however I can and give, and I think I'm a good person. That's the face value. But what's really deep down in there, okay, am I carrying, do I have guilt that if I say no, they're not going to like me? Is it going to create dysfunction in the relationship? Am I going to, oh, what's the word? Yeah, we'll forget that. The other way is if we are doing all this out of a wound that we don't even know exists, and it's some way to receive love, but we're never going to receive it, or we get a breadcrumb and we say, oh, I got something, and then we give more. And then when we start to see things, it's like, well, I'm not really getting anything back. Why am I doing this anymore? And we can be mad at those people for taking. And then they can say, well, it's your own fault for giving. You need to be more selfish like us. We could look at it that way. But we also have to look at ourselves and say, okay, well, it was no one put a gun to my head and said to do this. I chose to give this way. I chose to give more. And by doing so, I was working out of a wound, so I have to take accountability for that. I don't know if I was allowed to say that G word. Other people say other words. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, off topic. So the only way to heal this binding, this bound, we're bound to it, to our past circumstances, or to this own victim idea that we're allowing it to control us. We have to choose to heal it, to move forward. I mean, that is the only way. It doesn't just go away. I am drawn to this birthing canal, this ability to birth something, and it's a beautiful experience. You think back in the day when someone was having a baby, they didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. Maybe they didn't know if there was more than one in there. It is. I don't know what I'm gonna get, but I know I'm creating it, and it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be a beautiful experience. When we are rebuilding ourselves from a place of external creation, whatever may have taken place that molded us into what we see ourselves as. When we're actually going through that healing journey, we'll be very surprised because we don't know what's in there until we start digging, until we start healing and cultivating and growing and expanding. We don't know what's in there, but we know it's going to be beautiful. And maybe that's all the motivation we need to get started. What do we have here, Spirit? Nine of Wands reversed. Vulnerability. Obviously, any type of shadow work or going into this is a vulnerable space. We also have to be open with ourselves to get there, to go through that stuff. We can just be in this state in general if we are very low self-esteem, low worth, low self-image, confidence. We are at the mercy of the external. Whatever anybody says or does is going to hurt us. It's not a place we want to be. We want to be bulletproof. We want to be a mirror, allow it to bounce off and go right back. We need to get to that place. I would hope so. Everyone would want to be there. And by doing so, we have to go through the heart. Four of Cups reversed. Renewal. Complete renew. This is giving I get a second chance. And it's not like, not viewing it as I did something wrong and I'm getting a second chance. It is, I get a new life, which we do. When you look at, depending on how old you are, if you look however many years you've been here in this experience, all those years built up to this moment, and that's all you know. That's all you've experienced. And all that in the back, the past, is the old you. All these ideas, these views, these thoughts, these feelings of ourself is the old us. This is the opportunity to become who you truly are, to find out who you truly are, to heal and to become who you were always deep down inside until the external changed that. It's a beautiful experience. It's very empowering, and not in an aggressive, authorial way. It is just, I stand here in my own presence, and I am me, you know? Got the devil card reversed. Empowerment. It is empowerment. When we look at the normal devil card, they are chained. Uh, they are bound. It is controlling them. It is holding them back, whether metaphorically, mentally, or physically. Getting to this space, removing these bindings of the past, this victimhood, this situation, everything and anything that has infiltrated our space, our confidence, our freedom is being removed through this process. The Emperor reversed. Chaos, granted, whether in the external, people, places, or things, or internal, there will be some dysfunction. And we may start with, or maybe we've been blaming for a long time, blaming everyone else and not taking responsibility to change it. That is a place of victimhood. But coming out of that and saying, okay, I choose me. I choose me. Uh, we're all guilty of it at one point, of being in victimhood. And until we choose us, we will always be there. You know, we're allowing the external to dictate our experience. Dictate. That's normally what an emperor does. Four of Swords. Solitude. Getting to that place of just peace, understanding is a magical place. Depending on where you're at in this experience of healing this, you're going to need some time to process things. I often say, you know, when we're going through these deep healing experiences, say we came to terms with a lot of things and we pushed through a lot. We're like, okay, you know, where's my magical reward or my peace of mind and things? Well, there's a lot of other things inside of us that need to catch up. When we really think about it, you know, I don't know where you're at or if you ever experienced daylight savings time. That 1 hour is a big deal to adjust to. Even if you have a pet and they always get fed at the same time, they're going to be an hour early or an hour late because they're on that biological clock. So are you. Your cells, your nervous system is expecting to have to react a certain way or to protect a certain way or to lock up a certain way. You know, however this fits in your experience, those things are going to have to adjust to these new thoughts, these new patterns. So we have to, it's just like exercising. I forget, but I felt like it took 60 or 90 days till you actually see, you know, results. You know, all this new needs to catch up. And we have to be open-minded about that to get to that place of solitude. One last card here, Spirit. Three of Cups reversed. I can only imagine that what was, you know, getting along with everyone or having our friends or family, work, co-workers, will create some disruption. It does when we start to see things for what they are and we start to remove ourselves from draining or toxic situations. People that aren't really supportive. They might be supportive on the face level, but are they really supportive? And only that's something you can decide. Getting out of this need to over-explain, but seeing things for what they are. And a true supportive person is going to be there no matter what. They're not going to have this hidden agenda or this guilt or shame-ridden comments or knock you down on any type of way. They're going to support you no matter what, whatever it is that you're doing. They may not agree with it, but they'd still support you because it's going to make you happy or bring you fulfillment. And if somebody's not there doing that, then they probably need to go. They're not your best friend. They're not your best uh, person rooting in your court, you know? So, again, going back to the idea that, okay, this past life, all these past years that I've had, was that life in that wounded place. And now I'm moving out of it. Things are going to have to change. They're going to change naturally. I'm changing internally, which means my external is going to change. Those people don't fit anymore. And that's going to upset people, and it might upset you as well. But by choosing you is winning the game. And it's not from a selfish way. It is, uh, I deserve better. I deserve to be a happy, healed person. I'm going to be. I'm going to leave it there. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe. And I will talk to you all later.